exercise is more important than ever. We live in a world today that is essentially in crisis because of all of the metabolic diseases that we have, because of our ultra-processed foods and all of the sugars that we intake. And it's incredible how resilient our bodies are and how quickly they respond to good and to bad stimulus. I'm Bryan. I'm a co-founder here at Bakcou, and I'm also a practicing neurophysiologist. I practice electrodiagnostic medicine and have since 2005. And electrodiagnostic medicine is essentially the evaluation of the peripheral nervous system. So I diagnose conditions that involve motor neuron diseases to myopathies, polyneuropathies, radiculopathies, pinched nerves in the spine, all the way down to mononeuropathies like carpal tunnel syndrome and things of that nature. Interestingly enough, conditions that I saw 18 years ago have changed to what I'm seeing now. One of the things I'm seeing far more common is neuropathy. A neuropathy is typically a patient that complains of some type of burning, numbness, or tingling in their hands or their feet. And it's interesting that it's becoming more prevalent nowadays. It typically is associated with some type of circulatory condition or some type of metabolic disease. Quite commonly, diabetes is something that impacts neuropathy, and the very first question that they typically ask is, well, how do I treat it? And it's not rocket science, it really comes back to health. The first thing is just in getting regular exercise, routine exercise, followed by a good diet and then adequate amount of sleep. From an exercise standpoint, it really starts from something cardiovascular as well as some type of resistance training or strength training.
Grind never stops. 5:30 in the morning, that's what we do.
Cardiovascular is particularly important because it facilitates blood flow. Quite often, as I mentioned, neuropathy develops first in the hands and the feet, and to get blood flow down into these structures takes a little bit of work. And so high repetitious, low load cardiovascular exercise is really good at facilitating blood flow. So my passion is really health, fitness, and the outdoors. And Bakcou and medicine really allow me to combine both of those together. When I have a patient in the clinic and I'm trying to help them understand exercise and the importance of cardiovascular exercise and strength training, one of the most common things that I recommend is cycling, because cycling is low load, doesn't cause a lot of compression or a lot of impact on our joints, but it facilitates blood flow. That's really important. So going into e-bikes and with Bakcou, it just is a perfect segue into promoting health. One thing that I've learned since Bakcou came around is that not everybody can jump on a bike and hit the road. Some people need a little bit of assistance to kind of get things going, and an electric bike allows that to happen. So people can actually get on a bike, and initially you might be riding on a level of assistance 5 that gives you a whole bunch of assistance. But you're getting your body familiar with the bike, you're conditioning your backside to sit on a seat for an extended period of time. Usually just 1 or 2 weeks, you're going to start to become more comfortable on the bike and the positioning on the bike, and you're gradually going to be able to bring down your level of assistance from a level 4 to a level 3 to a level 2. You're going to be on the bike for an extended period of time, which is going to build cardiovascular endurance. And before too long, you're going to find yourself riding hills and just really enjoying the outdoors. You're not even going to know that you're exercising. So e-bikes have a wonderful segue into people getting out, becoming more active, and increasing their health. I've found in my practice a patient that comes in that has a lot of these neuropathy type symptoms, and they're diagnosed clinically with pathology in a fairly short period of time, when on a good regimen of exercise, diet, and regular amounts of sleep, and trying to control stress. We all have stress in life, but if we can control that to a manageable level, it's incredible how I can bring that patient in 6 months later, and not only their clinical symptoms have decreased and they're not having the numbness and tingling like they were prior, but essentially from an electrodiagnostic standpoint, I can also see evidence of this. I can see that the sensory responses are coming back in their nerves. I can see better amplitudes and responses of their motor nerves. It's pretty incredible what exercise can do. And the tools that we have right in front of us, electric bikes, allow people that maybe ordinarily couldn't get out and exercise to now take that first step and taking control over their own health. At Bakcou, our tagline is Elevate Your Life. One of the subcategories of elevating your life is elevating your health, and January is Elevate Your Health Month here at Bakcou. Something that I think is important to recognize is that in elevating your health, it's more than just physical. It's also emotional, it's spiritual, and it also encompasses relationships. So at a time of year when we're all reflecting and we're all self-evaluating and looking at how we can do better, now really is the time for each one of us to kind of look at those areas of our overall health and make some changes. What we're going to find at the end of this is we really end up elevating our life.